besties. Welcome in. I am Sabrina for those of you who don't know me yet, but for those of you who have been here for a while, you will recognize the hrcyed screenshot that's going on here. Was this a screenshot? I don't know what you would call this. But what I want to do, because I've been doing hrcyed since the beginning, since July 7th, I made some adjustments and I need to catch you guys up. Now, if you watch my monthly wrap-up videos, you will notice that I give you my total points and things like that as I'm going through the wrap-up of everything that I read for the month. But then things end up changing after I do those videos. And it's happened a couple of times. So there have been some major changes and I don't really know how to go back in the other videos and redo those. Also, my editing software has a new feature where it will remove your background. And I see it's kind of struggling with that. But I will say that webcams really don't like my hair. I don't know what to tell you about that, bestie. That's just my hair. I'm looking at myself on the screen. Sorry that it's a little bit glitchy. It kind of looks cool though. It kind of looks like I'm ooh. Anyway, just ignore that if that's bothering you. Let's get into my updated spreadsheet. So I have not selected anything on the bingo board yet. I just have not said that I'm finished with any of my individual challenges, but that's not true. I'm actually finished with some of them. Let's just jump into this. I mean, if you want to see my quick stats here, total books have been 72. I'm at just over 20,000 pages. I spent a little, close to 150 hours reading. Let's see, total spent. I'm only tracking if I go out and specifically pay money for a book to meet a hrcyed prompt. Otherwise, this is just Sabrina buying books. On average, I spend about 6 days reading a book. The average pages per book is 334. And then I will say one thing we're going to talk about is the total points. So total points is 679. That's about to change in this very video. And then my most common acquisition year, 2025. That makes sense. My most read month is October because she read 18 books in October. That's crazy talk. I don't know what else might actually be fascinating for anybody on this page in particular. The publishers, Penguin and Macmillan, are leading the way there. These are all new. I don't reread books. I don't have time for that, besties. A lot of series, I'm just starting them. My means, this one actually surprises me, hardcover being 25% because I do not like reading hardcover books. So that's actually surprising to me. Ebook coming in with a close second is not surprising. I am surprised that paperback is only at 20% because I feel like paperback is my preferred method of reading, but here we are anyway. And then in the genres, fantasy romance, that makes sense to me, contemporary literary, and then historical fiction. I am shocked that it's as low as it is because I love historical fiction and I guess I just haven't been reading it. So that is news to me. I don't really look at these categories. Oh wait, hold on. Historical fiction? Oh, that's historical fantasy. Okay, historical fiction, 8.3%. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah. Okay, I don't really look at this page very often, but points calculator, we're going to come back to that in just a minute. But let's just look at my different categories down here. So by the 100s, we are so freaking close to being done with this. I just need to read a book that is 700 pages or more. And look, Howling Dark was so close, 688. So freaking close. And yet, besties, we're not there. So, and it was the same thing when I read All the Colors of the Dark because it's 597. So close, but not yet. So anyway, just got to get that 700 page book, and I'm trying to read my thick stacks in 2026. So that should be pretty easy for me to get done. Okay, the 24-hour reading challenge. I just did this on Black Friday. So the very, very end of November, I completed this. I need to check it off and say that I did it. So that is one of the 25 challenges completed. So A plus for that. I read 5 books during that and it was a good time. Subgenres of choice. So close, besties. We just have one left to do, and that will be the cozy fantasy. This is one where I did change my subgenres from what I originally had them set as. I don't even remember what they used to be, but I know that horror was not one that I originally had in there. I want to say that I maybe had, did I have I want to say I maybe had paranormal in here before. And then I know that space opera is also a newer one that I changed it from. And it might have been sci-fi fantasy in the beginning. I just needed to fit some of these books in, and I didn't see any purpose. Like, for a long time I kept telling myself, oh no, that's what you picked, you have to stick with it. I don't even, who cares? No, just change it to what you need it to be. So I changed it, and now we're just one book away from completing that. So I really want to focus on completing this one in January. Onto the series Staircase. I only need one more for the quadrology, and I'm doing those on audiobook, so that will probably be happening. Actually, so I'm filming this video a little bit early. I have not read a single December book yet, but I'm pretty sure the second week of December, I'm going on a road trip for work, and so I will probably be listening to book number 4 and completing this part of it, and that will just leave me with my duology. And I haven't decided yet, but I think that I'm going to use the secret prompt from November to pull in a book that I read prior to the challenge starting. And then I have the other one currently from the library. So I could just do that and then complete that. And then that will mean by the end of the year, I will have completed the series Staircase, but we're not there yet. Award season. Now listen. This one I had grand plans for. I was going to read all of the Booker Prize books for 2025. Now, I don't know if it's just me. I don't think it's just me, because I think a lot of people are confused. I see on the Discord server, a lot of people are confused about this one. So Booker does not actually announce entrants, and I don't think they even announced semifinalists. Whatever it is that they don't do. And so Q had clarified that the award that you're reading for needs to explicitly state that something is an entrant. So, like, in my head, if a book is on the semifinalist or the finalist list, it had to have been an entrant. But that's not how this challenge works. So I could not do what I had originally planned, which is to read all of the Booker Prize books. So I got mad and and I basically decided I wasn't going to read any of the Booker Prize books. So there's that. And I went and I had to go find, first of all, I had to go find somewhere that had a entrant listed. Now that is really, really hard to do, but you know what? They don't call it the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do for nothing. So I ended up going with the Kirkus Star Awards because they explicitly state on their website that if it has a star, it's an entrant. So I did Isola and the names for that. And then I went and the rest of them, I just kind of like naturally filled in. And what I ended up doing was these were all books that only had one prompt assigned to them after I read them. And I didn't know what else to credit them for. So I went through and I looked at all of them to see if any of them had any awards that they were nominated for or won or whatever. And we were able to complete this. Like, I literally sat down on my computer one day and was like, boom, 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 boom. And then this challenge was completed. So that's that one. Moving on to the TBR game challenge. We can move right on past that because I did not do this yet. I don't know when I'm planning to do this. I think I'm just going to save it for like March or April or something, like sometime when I'm feeling bored with my own TBR challenge put together situation. It really genuinely looks like there's like a fire in my background. I'm so sorry, but I don't want to stop this and start it all over again. And if I stop the recording, I don't want to. So we're just gonna rock with it. Moving on to the last 10 years. This one, I'm actually almost done. I don't know for sure, but I really, really think that I'm going to read The Maker of Swans soon. If not, I know that I'm going to read Beartown soon because Beartown's giving big winter energy, and that's what I want to do in like January, February at the latest. But Maker of Swans, I really want to read like ASAP. And then for 2019, I want to read One for My Enemies, but I'm also trying to get into this series, the City of Brass is the first one. I really want to get into that. So if I do read that and I haven't read One for My Enemies yet, I will be slotting in Kingdom of Copper in 2019. Adaptation. Don't start with me about the adaptations, okay? I was supposed to read The Great Gatsby in November. Did not happen. I am going to try to read it in December. It may not happen. I don't know. And I am trying to go for the home run and do the source material and the adaptation. Musical, I don't know. Y'all, I don't know. A play? I'm not going to a play. I'm a theater kid through and through. I'm a member of the International Thespian Society. I'm not going to see a play. I just don't want to. At this point, it's difficult for me to watch live shows because I'm on the technical theater side, and my inability to stop criticizing everything. Like, if someone misses their follow spot cue, I will not stop obsessing about that for the rest of the night. I can't even watch the play because I'm obsessed about that. So anyway, and I will just tell you that yes, I'm a thespian and my discipline is technical theater. And while I am actually a master rigger, my follow spot skills are impeccable. Like, anyone who has ever seen me operate a spotlight, you'll know I will hit my mark 100% of the time. So someone not hitting their mark right off the jump, like, I can't handle it. It is very judgmental of me, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, web series, I still don't even know what a web series is. There is an explanation in the FAQ, and I still don't even know what it is. But anyway, animation. Am I supposed to watch a cartoon? Like this, I think the problem with the adaptations is that it confuses me. And that's why I've not done it. But, you know, the ones that I have done, those are pretty easy. So graphic novel, I know what a graphic novel is. And TV show, I watched that. This was a mistake. I wasn't going to do that. I think I was going to do A Far Better Thing. And then that just happened. Oh yeah, see, look, I'm planning to read and watch Fight Club. I've never watched Fight Club, and no one will tell me what Fight Club is about for whatever reason, so I'm gonna do it myself. Moving right along. The disability challenge. I did all of these on accident. Like, not a single one of these was planned, but as I was reading, I'm like, oh, that's a disability. So these are all done, and I just need to do one more. So it looks like I'm gonna have to be intentional about reading a book with a disability in it. However, I will say that I have been dying to read Voyage of the Damned, and I think I bought this book in May, and I have not picked it up yet. So I think I'm going to end up doing that one. Although Out on a Limb is also up there. I've got options, and I own both of those books. That is close to being done. Heritage Months, we're not even going to, listen, I am trying to do them in the month that they exist in so I can get the bonus points. I did this one and I put this here, but I might read another one instead so I can get bonus points out of that. I don't really know. I'm trying to get all the bonus points that I can. So this is gonna take us till June to complete it because I have to do the LGBTQ Pride one in June. Translation challenge. And I finally have one on the board for this. This one was empty for the longest time. I just read this book in my 24-hour challenge at the end of November. So welcome to the board, translations. Moving on to Around the World. I have been hanging out just like this for the longest time. So Asia and South America still do not have entries. I was thinking about tripling up this one, The Inheritance, but I haven't decided if I want to use my points on that yet or not. Trying to see if I will read something else that is in South America before I use points to triple up, because I feel like those points are gonna, like, at the last minute, like in the end of June, I feel like I'm gonna need those points. Who knows if that's true or not. And then Asia, I'm actually pretty shocked. I feel like every book that I've read that has had some part of it take place in Asia has been like, I've used it for other prompts, not that I've not read any. You can also use a book where the author is from that country. Like, I did that for The Prison Healer because Lynette Noni is Australian. But I kind of would like to use books where they take place in that country instead of it being the author. We'll see. I made a decision on the Australia one because I really wanted to read this. So anyway, whatever. That happened. The Even Bigger Rainbow. This one I have made adjustment after adjustment after adjustment on. We have been back and forth and up and down and left and right on these, but this is what it's currently looking like. So sometimes when I make adjustments, I do make a note, like I make it, what is this called? Italicized down here. So like light blue, I've been back and forth with this one, but then I saw Q made a video where she showed literally this book with this cover and was like, it's light blue to me. And I was like, say less, bestie. So I pulled it in and called it light blue too. It's giving purple energy, but we're gonna take it. If Q says it's light blue, then Sabrina says it's light blue, because this is Q's challenge, so whatever. I still need a yellow, a purple, and a white. One of the fun things about this one is that you don't have to use the cover of the version that you read. So I did not read this version. That's why you'll see that there are 2 different covers that I have on the spreadsheet for the Traitor Queen. This is not the version that I read. So on the other one, on the series one, I used the version that I read. And so for this one, I'm using the version that, I think this is the OG cover, that's orange. So I still need to find a yellow. I should be reading Everything is Tuberculosis in December, so that should help. I really want to read, this is the second in a series. I read the first one and I loved it. I read that in my Spooky Creatures video. I'll link that for you guys. And then I don't have any idea when I'm going to read for the white one. Moving on to make a quote. I still need 2 of them. I need from and read. If you ask me where this quote is from, you're gonna be upset because you're gonna need academic credentials to log into a journal to find it. It said it needed to be published, not that everybody had to have access to the publication. Leave me alone. Moving right along to Spooky Creatures. Guess what, friends? We are done. I actually finished this one in October on purpose. In October, I made myself read The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, Blood Moon, Dating After the End of the World. And so that gave me my last 3 that I needed to complete Spooky Creatures. I mean, it was October. Like, that's what you're supposed to read in October, right? Oh, wait, no. Didn't I also do Skin of the Sea? I think I also did Skin of the Sea in October. So we got our witch, our werewolf, our mermaid, and our zombie all in October. So this was quite a good one, and this is finished. I also have a note. You'll see I have a note to myself, like if I've submitted them or not. So once I submit them, I don't know. I guess I'm going to go change that to a green square or something, or I don't know. I haven't submitted any of these to hrcyed, to Q's and her moderator. What am I trying to say? I haven't submitted any of these yet to the official challenge, but I will be getting on that soon. I was kind of waiting until I did this little catch-up thing in order to do it. Now, Become the Avatar. I've technically completed this because I've done the cover of all of these, right? Now, I would like to go for the bonus points. You can see I've already decided which ones I want to do. So I don't know, do I check this and say that I finished it, or do I not check it? It's technically finished. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it unchecked and then try to complete the bonus points. If for whatever reason I don't complete the bonus points, I will just go ahead and check it. So that might be come June or the very beginning of July. We might have to make a game day decision on this one. Moving on to the readathon challenge. I am doing Clear Your Shit for this. It spans November and December. So currently this only lists the books that I read in November, and you're allowed to double, triple, quadruple up for Clear Your Shit if you want to. I decided that I was going to double up and no more. Like, that's just the rules that I made for myself for Clear Your Shit. So I don't know, halfway done maybe. So I'm about halfway through, which makes sense for a 2-month challenge. So I think that's going to be completed in December like it's supposed to be. I will say that per the rules of this, you don't have to complete it within the time frame of the readathon. You can complete it afterwards. So if I fail it by not completing it in its time frame, which is November, December, I can still read the books that are for it after December is over with and not fail hrcyed. I think I said that right. Anyway, moving right along, y'all. Animals. The animals challenge has been a struggle. Now, I will say that the cat and the lion I came upon accidentally. The seals, I didn't really... I guess it was an accident too. This one... Nah, you know what? I don't even know what I'm saying. I didn't plan any of these. These just kind of happened to me. Some books you plan for, and some books just, they kind of happen and they fit in where they fit in. So that's where we're at with this. I do own a copy of Vessalus, and I saw that somebody else said that which makes sense. It has snakes, which is an exotic pet. So I do plan on reading that because I physically own the copy already. I'm just not that motivated to read it, so it's just still sitting on my shelf. In the Queer Alphabet, I did not read a single one of these books on purpose for the Queer Alphabet challenge. Every single one of these books I read, and I mean, I knew that Bury Our Bones had lesbians in it going into it, but I didn't know that any of the rest of these books had any sort of queer representation whatsoever when I went into reading it. It just happened to me. So that is actually pretty good. And I like that I can say that, like, it's kind of giving, like, like I do already read diversely because like I said, I did not plan any of these books intentionally for this challenge. So the only one that I actually have to put intention behind is Intersex. I have not, I do own, is it The Left Hand of Dark? I'm pretty sure I own The Left Hand of Darkness. I just need to read it. I am very close to finishing this one. Then there's my favorite hrcyed one prompt. Now here's where we went through a couple of different iterations. So originally, these are all the hrcyed one prompts. Now originally, your girl was going to do the garage sale, find 3 books and read them. So get 3 books from a garage sale or whatever and read them. And I had decided that I was going to be getting books off of Facebook Marketplace. And I mean, I was stalking the marketplace. Like I saw one where it was like, I think they would live across the street, like not my neighborhood, but the neighborhood across the street. I think that's where they live. And I was like, cool, sign me up. But then like the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, I'm actually not going to anybody's house to get anything off of Facebook Marketplace. Like I'm just not gonna. So I changed my mind. Then I decided I was going to buy an indie book that I bought directly from the author and reviewed on Amazon or Goodreads. I have a person who I met at a bookstore once, and she is an author, and I did purchase one of her books. Now, I have reading comprehension problems, apparently, because it says that you bought directly from the author, and I did not. I specifically purchased it from her local indie bookstore. So it was like indie book, bought from, and I just translated all that in my head. And so I was going to read that, but then I was like, that's not what that says. So I had to change my mind again. And I am now doing the A to Z challenge, which is helpful because most of all of these books had either 0 or 1 prompt that they fit for. So slamming them into the ABC challenge is kind of perfect. I'm probably going to struggle with the Q. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I don't think I'm going to have a problem. Well, maybe the Z. The Z might be difficult too. But the rest of these, I think, are going to be pretty easy to fill in. So I'm reserving this for books that I just simply cannot fit anywhere else. And then I'll probably scramble at the end if I need to read any specific books. So that's what we're doing for that one. So yay me for finally getting it together. And I keep looking, this is me looking at myself because I keep looking at all the stuff that's like around me that's like looking like dancing flames. And I apologize for looking over there. Whatever. Moving on to the BIPOC challenge. What did you know? I am finished with this. So did I choose any of these based on... No, I didn't choose any of these based on the author's ethnicity at all. I don't know that I even knew Alifair Burke was Chinese. And then there's this one I was not aware of or sure of. So I promise you, I did a lot of digging on Alex Astor and like, girlfriend is a proud Colombian. So I'm crediting it right there. I mean, whatever. And then I tried not to double any up. However, these two, The Bleeding Woods and What Happened to Ruthie Ramirez, there was nowhere else I could fit either one of them. And so I just went ahead and did that. So I doubled up one. But the rest of these are all individual. And shout out to Amal El Motar for being Lebanese. I have Lebanese cousins and I just love. Okay. So anyway, I am now finished with that. Finished that one in November. Woo! New releases. This one obviously will not be finished until the end. I did, however, read a new release in July. So I will finish it in June. I am specifically forcing myself to read my new release in the actual month that it comes out in, even though you have 60 days either before or after to do it. That's not the rules that I'm playing by. So I'm being more restrictive than Q is. Moving on. My challenge yourself is basically the same thing. I have to read an arc and do a detailed post about it on Instagram every single month. And so that is happening every single month. So I won't finish this one until June either. My nonfiction challenge. We are lagging behind. I read both of these in the same month. Not done any since. I will say Everything is Tuberculosis. I have that. I think I already said this. Did I already say this? I have it from Libby in the month of December. So possibly by the time that this video is up, I've already read Everything is Tuberculosis, and it will go here. Moving on to Q's reviews, 2 out of the 3. That's not bad. And once again, When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vita Kelly is on my December TBR. I don't know what order these videos are going up in, but the December TBR video will tell you that I am planning to read this in December. And I have been waiting to read this for so long, and just like waiting for it to naturally come up in like a TBR, or for me to have like free time reading. Who am I? You know what I mean? Like mood reading for it to pull it. Like I want to read it, but it hasn't come up yet. So I'm excited that it's on the December TBR, and I can't wait to read it. So I actually haven't watched Q's review on The Night and the Moth. I saved it in my like YouTube playlist, watch later, so that I can watch it, so that I can compare. So I don't know if I like it more, better, or worse than what Q said yet. So that's just a placeholder. Blood Over Bright Haven. I said fully agree because Q was like, it's incredible, and I feel like it's more than incredible. So I probably should have said it's better than what Q said, but we're just gonna leave it like that. So yes, this one should hopefully be complete very soon. Then we have our secret prompt. I'm just kind of tracking these. The only one I did not do, the one for September, I think it was like you had to read, you had to craft with an audiobook, or like read a book with a craft on the I didn't have time for that in September, so I didn't do it. But I'm tracking this, and I need to update this. So I'm tracking this here, and I don't know, we don't really need the I did it prompt, but here we are. So now let's talk about the points tracker. Can I move myself? There we go. So with the points, this is optional, but I thought I would just keep track of it. So currently I have 679 points, which you can see what that kind of amounts to in terms of like rewards. Now, the thing that I think I'm mostly going to use would either be to short a prompt, which I'm looking at you adaptations, or to triple up something. So I've got 2, I'm on the way to having 3 triple ups, and then I've got 1 shorter prompt. I've had to go back through a bunch of these and update what, where they stood, because at one point I was thinking of physical TBR in a specific way, and then I had to like reimagine that. I don't even know how to explain that to you guys, so let's just move on. But I also originally had read this one over 500 pages or 20 hours as you had to do that in one day, and that is not what that says. So I had to go back and award some points for those. And then, like I said, as I was trying to discover marginalized authors, I went through and I had to pull a bunch more and give points for those. And then I was very politely asked in the comments of one of my videos if I was not crediting myself with doing detailed reviews for every single book that I detail review in a wrap-up video. Every single book for this challenge has been featured in a wrap-up video. Besties, why have I been shorting myself? So let's just go ahead and award those, shall we? That's an additional 5 points per. Every single one. So with all those checked, that brings us to a grand total of 939 points. That was 260 extra points. Can you listen? And still somehow we only have 1.88 shorter prompt. So I'm gonna need some more of those, friends. Or can I only use one? I need to look up and see if I can use more than one of those on the adaptations. Now, I mean, I want to try to finish adaptations, but it's just not looking good because my brain just does not, it just short circuits when I think about adaptations. So if we go back to our bingo board, here's where we are. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 that are finished. And I think I had like 3 or maybe 4 where we're super close to finishing. I know like By the 100s only needed 1 more. Disability only needed 1 more. Animals only needed 1 more. And the Queer Alphabet only needed 1 more. So what was that? And then technically Become the Avatar is finished. So the board is looking much better than she's giving. I'm going to try to make it a priority to kind of like check some of these ones that are only missing one off like pretty early in the year, like January, February at the latest, so that it looks and feels a lot better and I feel less like I'm lagging behind. Because currently I feel like I got to get it in gear or I'm going to fail hrcyed. And that's really genuinely not the case as we've just seen. So yes, that is my hrcyed almost mid-year catch up, catching you guys up to what I have changed behind the scenes that you've not seen in any of my monthly wrap-up videos. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're not following along on hrcyed, the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, why not? You should be doing it. It's so much fun. And you don't have to do a blackout bingo, just FYI. You do not have to do a blackout bingo to win hrcyed. You can do a regular bingo. You can do hrcyed the way that you want to do it, which is just completing one square or completing one piece of each of the squares. Like whatever you want to do, you're welcome to do that. The way my spirit is set up, I have to do a blackout. So that's what I'm doing. So for me, if I don't black out, I will have failed. That is not the actual spirit of this challenge though. So I just want to be very clear about that. With that said, thanks for popping in and catching up on hrcyed with me. I think a lot of you found me through hrcyed, so I'm assuming that you're actually watching this video, in which case go ahead and hit the like button and tell your hrcyed friends to come on over because we are going to be like seriously off to the races in January trying to get this finished. And I would like to finish early with the exception of the ones that have to be every single month because I'm holding myself to those specific months. So with the exception of those, my plan is to finish early. So let's see if I can do it. Anyway, yes, thanks for watching this video and I will see you guys in the very next one.